Hey guys, so in this video I want to continue and elaborate a little bit on the new age. In particular, I want to elaborate on the cities and about the transportation system, and in general just to give you a little more of information about how it is to live in this new age. Alright, I just want you to keep remembering that the people and animals and earth and everything is of fifth density, so it's all, lovey-dovey and that sort of thing. Alright, so first off, I want to talk a little bit about the structure of the cities. So basically, we have one planetary government and then the division into countries. Believe it or not, there are still countries. Obviously, countries are very much different than the countries we have today. It's not countries and nations having wars against one another like we have today. Not at all. It's more of a hierarchy that enables the people in the new age to control better the different aspects of governments and cities, etc. All right, so under the level, again, we have the planetary government, then we have countries, then we have regions. All right, and regions are now it's getting interesting because in each region we have the region center, which is basically the equivalent of our big cities today, the region center, and then we have hill towns, which are smaller towns that are scattered across the region, and then we have the rural areas, right? Even less dense, communities that live in this rural environment. All right, so the major thing to consider is the region. All right, we have a region, the region center, then we have the hill towns surrounding the region center, and then even further we have the rural areas. All right, now a hill town is basically a town that is built either inside a hill or on the side of a hill, or if there isn't any hill, so it's basically like a pyramid or something that resembles a hill. Now, because the hill town is very much different than the cities that we have today, it's more of a, you can think about it more of a residential complex that is built inside a hill, and completely aligned with the environment. It doesn't disturb the environment. It has a lot of balconies and a lot of room, and the streets of the city are basically inside the hill, so the outside of the hill town looks basically like a hill. That's why it's called the hill town. It's very hard to even notice that there's a town there because the balconies are filled with trees and all of that, and all the people and streets and all of that are inside the hill itself. So you don't even, when you look at it from the outside, you can hardly even see that there is a town there. All right, the whole point of this structure is to have the buildings of humanity disturb as little as possible the earth. All right, and there are no roads whatsoever. People don't have cars. We don't have roads. The way that people move from place to place is through a very intensive public transportation system, basically trains, like high-tech special trains that go underground between the hill towns and reach the rural areas. And basically it's very intensive, almost like a wheel structure, and spokes that go through the wheel to the center, which is the region center. All right, so the point is that we have these trains that through which you can move from place to place, and those trains also, because it's not a regular train, it's also not a regular subway. It's something a bit different. It's more high tech. So if you want to move from country to country or from region to region throughout the globe, so those trains eventually they can become sort of like a flying train at some point, and basically fly to another region and then go again underground and continue to be a regular subway train. All right, so that's basically the towns and the transportation system. I also want to point out that people don't work as much as we work here in third density. All right, today people work, 9 hours a day, 10 hours a day. In the new age, people will work as much as they want, and it will usually be around 4 hours a day. All right, because there's no need to work so much. And because of that, there's a lot of leisure time. Like a lot. The majority of time is leisure time. Another thing I want to point out is that older people that today, by the age of, 65, 67 or something, you are basically retired, and this means that you don't work anymore. That's not the case in the new age. In the new age, everybody, including very young children, including very old people, everybody can contribute to the society, regardless, and they choose their own time, how much time they want to work every day. It's really up to them. Some people may be very ambitious and want to work more, but the standard is around 4 hours a day, and you don't retire at the age of 65. You can work until you want to. And because there is all this leisure time, there's a lot of tourism. People from different regions check out different regions. People that live in the city, in the hill town, for example, can go and check out the rural areas. The rural areas, everything is much slower. Even the trains move a little bit slower. And as you go further and further to the big city or to the hill town or region center, things become more and more faster. The trains move faster. The time is more intense. But again, even in those places, it's much less intense than our current large cities, obviously. All right. So as a general statement, time almost moves slower in the new age, and there's a lot more leisure time. In the leisure time, you can, as I said, either travel around through the planet, or you can also return to the spaceships, or you can check out other planets. And there's even like flying hotels, like spaceship hotels that you can fly around the Earth, and that sort of thing. So they use technology to enable people to travel between areas. And in regard, like I talked a little bit about the train system. So unlike today you need to buy a ticket, and then there's a conductor that checks that you have a ticket. All of that doesn't exist. Basically, when I will talk in the next videos about the new economy, you will be surprised to hear that there's still money, but you pay, and you even still pay taxes. But, well, we'll talk about it later. But the point is that you pay this yearly tax, and that's it. And you get free transportation that you can use as much as you want. You don't need to buy a ticket. You don't need to do, the conductor doesn't check if you have a ticket. All of that doesn't exist. So that's why you can freely move as much as you want through the train system. The train system is completely automated and run by computers and by high technology. So it's run basically 24/7. If someone wants to use the train in the middle of the night, the train will sense that there is someone in the station and will come and take him to wherever he wants. All right. So that's that.